Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be going over the Omni Charge 20 Plus portable power bank. I got this on Amazon about a month and a half ago for about $159 on sale. It normally goes for about $199. This is the box that it comes in. I'm going to pull out the unit here. I keep it in a little orange stuff sack with the cables that it comes with and some extra cables. The unit comes with a USB to USB-C cable, and it also comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable. I got the USB-C and DC input model. There's also a USB-C only model and a older version which only has a DC input. I also keep a DC to USB cable as well with the bag here. Let's get this stuff out of the way and get to the main unit now. I keep it in this orange stuff sack for easy transportation. And this is the unit right here, the Omni Charge 20 Plus. This is the front panel. This is the side panel with the DC input and USB. This is the rear panel with literature stating what does what for the unit in terms of the amperages and inputs and outputs. And this is the inverter side with the inverter holes right here. And this is the bottom. It's a matte finish. It's in black. It's pretty rugged. It's almost like, it's not exactly like a rubber, but it's like a smooth matte plastic. It will retain scratches and fingerprints on it. So if you're looking for something that's pretty and shiny, this is probably not going to hold up too long. I'll get a AAA battery for size comparison. As you can see, it's relatively small, the battery bank here. And let's go ahead and look at the literature on the box and on the battery here. According to the battery, it's got USB-A outputs at 5 volts at 3 amps, 9 volts at 2 amps, 12 volts at 1.5 amps. It's also got a USB-C output at 5 volts at 3 amps, 9 volts at 3 amps, and 12 volts at 3 amps as well. And then it goes up to 15 volts at 3 amps, 20 volts at 3 amps, and then 60 watt max. AC output is going to be AC 120 volts at 60 hertz or DC 150 volts at 100 watts max. DC output at 5 to 25 volts, optionally changed in the menu, which we'll go on later, at about 5 amps maximum output, 100 watt max output. Input ranges are 4.5 volts to 36 volts at 3 amps max, 45 watts max. Lithium ion, there's 6 18650s in there, and basically they're powering the battery. They're located around here. This is where the wireless charging area is, and there's another video on YouTube which has a guy who opens this up to look at what's in the inside, and it's a tray of 6 18650s glued together, each with its own battery unit monitoring system, or I think they call them BPSs. Anyway, we're not going to talk too much about that. Let's go over the menu. To power this on, you push and hold down the power button here, and the screen comes on. This is an OLED display. It gives you a variety of information, which I really do enjoy, and it's one of the main reasons why I picked this over, say, Renogi or any other powered brand options on the market and on Amazon right now. On the top, you'll have the battery percentage. It says 100% remaining. On the left side, you'll have wattage incoming and then wattage outgoing, or wattage usage rather. So right now it's saying 0.19 watts being used for the powering. And then we have on the right, you have the voltage that you want to output and the temperature of the battery right now, currently 73 degrees Fahrenheit. To access the menu, you're going to want to double click the power button and it brings up the menu option. Your first menu option is going to be DC out. That's going to give you a wide range of voltages and amperages going out. You can change these values by pushing the enter button, and you can say either if you want to keep the output to 12 volts at 4 amps or you want to change that. So you want to say yes or no. I'm going to say yes, and it's DC out right now. To stop that, you're going to turn it off again, hold it down, it powers off. I'm going to power this back on, and the DC has been reset, the output option. So you can also turn off the display by clicking it once to save power. I like to keep my display on personally. Double click to get back into the menu. Next we'll go into the wall socket here. You can change it to 150 volts, high voltage direct current, or 120 volt alternative current. I keep mine on 120 volt AC. because that's what I usually use it with my Surface Pro 4. And then going down the list, we have USB. We have it to change the default off or on when you power up the unit. I keep on off, and you can manually change it to on and off via these two buttons here, which we'll go on later. So default off is the option I want to keep. And you can also have the screen on this power off 1 minute or 5 minutes or never. I keep on never. Going down, we have auto shutdown feature, never to a minute to 5 minutes. And then we have temperature control, either in Celsius or Fahrenheit. I keep on in Celsius, Fahrenheit rather. It's a little bit easier for them to read. And then you have button light options, where you can have the lights on the buttons or turn them off. Then these are all options to save power if you want to maximize the amount of time using this battery. I keep mine on so I can see visually if the unit is on and what ports are on if they are on. And then one of the last options here is the about. It gives you the model. This is Omni 20 Plus here. It says the capacity, approximately 71 watt hours. And then you got the version number of the software and your serial number. These don't really change, the last two, from what I can see when it comes to you out of the factory. And then you can exit out of the menu. And then you're back into the main menu here. So you can see the outputs on 12 volts right now. You can change that if you want. I'm going to power this off and then power it on. And there we go. See, that's that simple to turn on and off. Now let's try a little test here with the USB cables. I'm going to get my USB cable here. I have a USB-C, and you can charge this in one of two different ways. You can have an input USB-C or a DC input and output. So right now I'm going to be doing a USB-C input charging, and it's going to give me a number value here and icons that come up. You see a little plug icon and a C standing for USB-C input. And right now it's telling me it's charging at 12.57 watts from the USB source I plugged in, and output is 0 watts. So let me get another cable here and go ahead and try to charge my phone here. I'm going to get my Anchor cable in a moment. I'm going to find it back in the side here. Here we go. And let's go ahead and get my phone out if I can find it. There it is. All right. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Now the USB ports are disengaged. To turn them on and to turn on the AC, you have two button options here. You push the bottom, which is for the USB port here, and you can also, and it pops up with the USB symbol, and the Qi charging, wireless charging on the top here. That's how you turn it on and off. USB and the Qi charging, the wireless charging, are linked together, so you cannot do them separately. So let's go ahead and plug this cable into my Samsung Note 3. I have a huge battery in my Note 3. It's a 10,000 milliamp battery. That's why it's pretty huge and big, but there you go, power it on. Let's go ahead and see the amount of incoming amperage. So we have an amperage of 1.8 amps coming into the phone here, as you can see on the little software measuring device here. And it's using about 13.414 watts from my other charging source. So this has like pass-through charging. You can charge this battery and charge your device at the same time via another external source. I like that in my battery units. I try to find power banks that do what they call pass-through charging. This seems and appears to have that capability, so that's very useful for my needs. So that's it, charging the phone via the USB output. I'm going to take that out. I don't have any other examples to show you with the AC inverter, but you can turn it on like this, and it'll show you the AC symbol, meaning that this is engaged. And I usually use this with my Surface Pro 4, and it lasts about an hour or 2 hours or so of extra juice, which is nice considering the small size of this battery bank here compared to, say, a AAA battery. You can kind of see it's not very big, and it's pretty, you can almost put this in your pocket by itself and carry it in a coat pocket or whatnot. Very indiscreet, very small. That's another reason why I bought this model, is that it's relatively, for its size, I feel it's very cost effective for the amount of energy it puts out. Plus, I enjoy the OLED screen a lot and the information that it displays. So that is the Omni Charge Plus 20, or 20 Plus rather, and in a nutshell, it works pretty well. I've had it for about a month and a half now, and I've enjoyed using it. through my solar powered bank system, which this is plugged into right now, and I can power off my laptop or any other AC required devices. Now this is not a true sine wave inverter in here, it's a modified sine wave, so you want to keep that in mind. Even though it says 60 hertz on the frequency here, if you're going to be running electronics for long-term duration with this unit, you probably want to get a true sine wave inverter, which costs a little bit more, but it's definitely worth it in terms of keeping your electronics in a good state and good form. But that is the Omni Charge 20 Plus. They started as a Kickstarter company, I believe, a few years ago, and they've been selling on Amazon for a few years now. So check them out. They have other products as well. I haven't tried them out or seen them yet, but they have a couple. I think they have a smaller battery bank that's just like this with just USB inputs and the inverter, and then they have a bigger unit which has a detachable battery bank, battery unit on it as well. Another thing to note with the DC input, you can also use solar power with this and charge it directly into it. I have done that before with my PowerFilm foldable solar panels, so it is compatible with solar systems. You just need the correct barrel plug adapter, DC adapter, to go in there, the coaxial cable too. So that is the Omni Charge 20 Plus. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I'll see you guys later.